Hi, folks. My name is Peter Boykin. I am running for U.S. Congress in District NC 13 in North Carolina. And I also run and founded the group Gays for Trump. I don't run away from that obligation and run away from what I founded because I'm running as a Republican for Congress. Many people say you should stay away from the gay issue because not all Republicans care about the gay issue. But today we have found out that a lot of Republicans will stand up for the gay community and for people because that's what Republicans do. Systematic generalization of communities is a danger to our liberties. There's someone in Michigan, of all places, and a lot of people would say, what's he doing with Michigan? Why is he involved in the Michigan politics? I'm running in North Carolina, but as a congressperson, not only do I have to care about what goes on in my district and my state, I am also obligated to care about what's going in other people's states and districts in the whole United States. One person named Meghan Reckling. I don't know much about her, but I do know that she does not represent the Trumps or Republicans. A friend of mine who runs, she's the Lesbian Patriot. She is definitely working in the Michigan area. She pointed out to what's been going on. Now, the chairman of the Livingston County GOP, which is Meghan Reckling, is objecting to a drag bingo event because it is pro-LGBT. This is not an event that is one political party or another. Yet Meghan has assumed this. She said that an event that is 21 and up and an after-hours event is somehow destroying the, quote, friendly family atmosphere of the Howell Melon Fest. Now, Reckling is now facing a divide in the Republican Party, as many are coming forward stating that her statements are not in tune with the ideals of Trump, nor the big tent that Republicans have now embraced. In fact, by her placing an identity on individuals that might be involved in such an event and painting an incorrect generalization of those same people, she is, in fact, working against the liberty and justice and equal rights that the Republican Party has always worked for. Right-leaning gay organizations like Gays for Trump, the Log Cabin Republicans, despite our differences, Triad Patriots, and the Gay Conservatives of America have spent a long time trying to establish that the Republican Party / right is a safe place for LGBT Americans to support and join because they believe in the rights of all Americans. Meghan Reckling is undermining these efforts, and unfortunately, there are still many small-minded individuals out there that feel and will continue to discriminate against others based on a bigoted viewpoint and stereotyped generalization of the gay community that comes with being uninformed and just plain ignorant. There's now a hearing that is going to go on, brought on by the ones that support Reckling's ignorance to try to shut down the drag bingo event. The unfortunate problem this presents is that those on the left in the LGBT community will be given ammo to continue to paint the whole Republican community as being against the gay community, which is just completing the vicious circle of generalization and bigotry from both sides of the political fence. When right-leaning gay organizations and activists see these types of injustices toward the gay community, they will stand up for what is right and correct people's misconceptions of a whole community. They will not let anti-LGBT propaganda and certain bad seeds in the LGBT community generalize the whole community. Nor will these organizations allow the left-leaning gays to continue to spread the misconceptions about the Republican Party as a whole. Generalization has never been okay when it comes to blacks, women, men, Latinos, and many other groups. And it should never be okay when it comes to the gay community. It is now time to break the circle of systemic generalization of certain Americans. That's my opening. Sound like Fox News here for a moment. But to remind you, I am Peter Boykin. I'm running for U.S. Congress. You can go to boykinforcongress.com. Here's a little bit of my information. Now, I am the founder of Gays for Trump and now co-founder of Triad Patriots. And we also have created the group Gay Conservatives of America. Don't tread on us. Let me show you who Meghan is. Meghan Reckling, seen here. She is the chairman of the Livingston County Republican Party. She just recently posted on Facebook. As you see, she's the chair of the Livingston County Republican. She's got a pretty good amount of likes, including one of my friends, who happens to be my friend Marilyn. She posted this today. This is disappointing to see happening here in Livingston County. The Howell Melon Fest is supposed to be a family-friendly event and not one that is sexualized with an event like this. Email the Howell Area Parks and Registration Authority at apk@howellregistration.org who hosts the Howell Melon Fest and let them know your faults. Well, folks, the problem is, why? What's the issue? What is the real issue here? Let's scroll down. It's a drag bingo, 21 and up, presented by Beauty Beyond Drag Productions. Saturday, August 14th, 9:30 to 11:30. 219 North Walnut Street here in Michigan, there in Michigan. Join us for a night you won't forget. Drag queens and kings will entertain with hilarious bingo and fabulous drag shows. Funds will go to benefit the Pride Alliance of Livingston and the Livingston Diversity Council. Costs $20 per person. And folks, this event is now sold out and might get 2 events now. 593 comments now. 593 comments, 35 shares. And here's my main comment. I wrote, this is disappointing as a gay Republican who supports Trump, who also supports gays. Donald Trump supported gays. I am the founder of the Gays for Trump organization, and now I am a candidate for U.S. Congress. Peter Boykin for U.S. Congress. BoykinForCongress.com. I do not see why you would assume having a gay-friendly event would be exposing families to sexuality. You do realize that, quote, family-friendly in itself applies sex, as heterosexuals create kids by, sex. And guess what? Alcohol and events like this might lead to a bit of baby making. I support families and support heteros and homosexuals and their families. I am told that if I say I am gay and the right thinks I am using, quote, identity politics. Yet it's fine for blacks for Trump, women, Latinos, men, etc. to have their groups, and they are also rather not have people generalize us into stereotypical identities. So what you're saying is un-American, un-Republican, against liberty, and against a portion of the community you're supposed to be outreaching to. I think opinions like yours are protected by our First Amendment, but here's my opinion. Resign or be removed. Your Republican Party needs someone now who supports Trump and who also can be closer to the true teachings of Jesus, which is love. Although one can argue keep religion out of politics, though politics should be more towards our preserving of our constitutional rights. Peter Boykin for Congress. Going into that, we scroll. There's already accusations that they're deleting comments in support of the event. I just saw several disappear as well. And then she claims she's not getting rid. I haven't deleted a single comment on this thread. People are more than welcome to agree or disagree. Love it. With my position of this event. Facebook will limit the comments based on whether or not you have the newest, most relevant, and all comments selected. I'm a big supporter of the First Amendment, especially when people disagree with me. Have a great night. Well, you're getting it, lady. First agreement. I think Meghan Reckling is a coward, somebody says. LO, too incapable to even know how Facebook works, but wants to control the lives of everyone else. And somebody says, Kimberly joins Baker. Says Amber Gother, she's not deleting, otherwise my comment and the 50-plus sub-threat would be long gone. Amber Gother, you may have your settings to only show some comments. So here is what Kimber joins Baker said. She says, what exactly is wrong with an adult entertainment venue featuring drag queen bingo? I consider myself pretty conservative, but this doesn't even remotely bother me in the slightest. It's for adults, and honestly, have you ever went to a drag queen bingo before? It's quite fun and entertaining. It's not like they hold you hostage, spike your drink with a drag drug, and make you wear a tutu, then you magically become a queen. Don't like it? Don't go. Geesh. I'd also like to add that I'm a huge supporter of yours and have been from the start, but this post seems a little ridiculous. Oh, by the way, a friend of mine just posted, see what needs to be happened. She's not really a Republican. They're part of the swamp and must be fished, trapped out of it. Thank you, Megan, for saying that. So there's different replies. So Meghan Reckling says, Kimberly, I understand your position. However, the Melon Fest is supposed to be a family-friendly event, and this event is simply not effective of that goal. There's now been 48 comments, 48 replies to that. And we're going to go. Meghan Reckling, we're going to say pro and con. Meghan Reckling, hasn't the Melon Fest had beer tents all along? That's not family-friendly, and no one minded. I agree with the above comment. It's fun, and the funds go to a good cause. It's 21 and older, and just like the beer tent, so I don't see what the problem is. People that don't want to go, don't go. Simple as that. It's even more replies. Christy, a beer tent isn't sexualizing the event. I have an issue with them sexualizing the Melon Fest, as I would like any affair or carnival here in Livingston County being sexualizing in this manner. Someone says, would you feel the same if it was a stripper bingo event? Drag queens are notoriously overly sexual and inappropriate. This even should not be advertised along with the Melon Fest. So there you go. There, Kimberly comes back and says, Meghan Reckling, it's never been a family-oriented after dark. Once the porch lights go on and the beer tent opens up, it's time for the adults to enjoy the nightlife. This venue is 21 plus in the evening. So again, I ask, what is the problem? She says, I've explained my concerns clearly above, and it's okay that you don't agree with them here. No one says, I've never considered the beer tents family-friendly. Melon Fest has always been the bigger party of the two summer festivals. I actually appreciate they still call them what they are. Nobody sells, sure, why not? It's 21 and over. I think Drag Queen Bingo sells like fun an event, and who cares if it's appropriate? If people don't like it, they don't have to pay $20 and they don't have to go. No one says, like I stated previously, I've been a huge supporter of yours since the start. I'm a conservative for the most part and a Christian woman, but your post makes you look like a bigot. You just lost a lot of my respect. Meghan Reckling. Do they have beer tents and sell alcohol at the Melon Fest? The reason I ask, drunk people are more offensive than drag queens calling B17. Also, it clearly states 21 and over. Oh, it's a family-friendly event. The event is 9:30 to 11:30. How many children are you going to be out that late? And I guarantee age 21 and up, families who meet the age requirements, will still be there, and so it fits the category as family-friendly. It's one night. Get over yourself. One says, I have a genuine question for you. Are you this because the local bras for a cause? It's a local event right here in Howell where it has men dressing up in bras to bring awareness to breast cancer. Still sexualizing and still in Howell. If you're not upset to make a stink about that, how can you be about this? It's an event for adults at 9:30 when most kids are sleeping. Here's a spoiler alert. She's against it because she's a homophobe. That's exactly what it is. It's not sexualizing the event. Next time I check, drag queens. Are you in the drag queens? I don't know. Let's move on. I bet supporters would think differently if it was a sexually charged heterosexual adults-only event aimed at entertaining straight adults, raising money for our Straight People's Alliance. I'm pretty live and let live, but I thought this festival was supposed to be a family one. The pandering has gotten out of control. All right, I'm embarrassed that this is even populated on my Facebook feed. It's 2021. Please learn to keep your bigotry to yourself. No one says, I'm wondering how being a teacher relates to my comparison. No one says, I'm not confused about anything, sir. I'm a conservative and a Christian, but I also think a drag show is the end of the world and that they are out to get our children. It's entertainment, as simple as that. Yeah, well, they said, I don't. It's not. It's not the end of the world. No one says, I just figured it was just a good comparison. Would be better thought out. No one says, I have always found people that call other people bigots are usually the biggest bigots of all. Yeah, I don't know about that. Thanks for your opinion. One could see this as interpreted as you referring to me as a bigot. Does the same theory apply to you? So just banner, regular Facebook banner back and forth. Neither a drag any more than you'd wearing a dress and sexualizing yourself. There you go. My comparison was more of the idea of sexualizing anything in events that are held in the city. If politician is going to go after one event, they should go after all of them, and they could all be seen as sexualization. At the end of the day, it's an event for the 21 plus crowd and the parents' right to decide if they will tell their kiddos about it or not. No one says it's not bigotry if you want your community to celebrate something you believe. God condemns Deuteronomy 22:5. A woman shall not wear a men's garment, nor shall a man put on his woman's cloak. For whoever does these things is abomination to the Lord your God. Christians should and love respect everyone in God's image. But that doesn't mean we can't call a sin a sin. So we've got this out here. So 2 different answers to different questions. Mommy, why does that man have a bra on? Mommy, why is that man dressed like a woman? The second one doesn't need to be answered at a Melon Fest. And if you think for 1 second the participants will wait until 9 p.m. to show, don't kid yourself. I myself have no problem with it. Seriously, I love bingo, but not at this event. So we're having the back and forth, folks. Well, not in the least because I never called you. Sorry. Do you believe that the person should not wear a pantsuit or trouser slacks to work in a business environment? Sounds like a male garment. No. And as I mentioned in a previous post, do you consume pork? Are selfish, Steve? If so, maybe you should refrain on being hypocritical, as that is clearly outlined in Leviticus. Gladly cleared that up. Thank you for clarifying, and although I appreciate your opinion, we agree to disagree. No one says, you should tell that to all the ladies who like to bring their grandmas to drag queen bingo. No one says, as someone who lives right down the street from one of the beer tents, this was never a family-friendly after 9:30. Stop being a miserable human. No one says, have you ever been to a drag queen bingo? There's literally nothing sexual about it, aside maybe a raunchy joke. But that's why it's for adults. You must be fun at parties. Fun fact, drag queens have families and are a part of families. Drag queens regularly have story hour libraries where they read books to small children and the children can ask whatever questions they want. I'm sorry you are jealous. They have a bigger following than you do. There's absolutely nothing about drag queens that isn't family friendly. You decided to make assumptions, so it sounds like that you're the problem, huh? Agree to disagree on that one about the drag queen story. Personally, I'm not really for it, but again, it's all about how you conduct it, right? All of the people trying to, quote, protect your kids is hilarious. Your kids know more about drag queens and the LGBT community than you do. They watch TV, they're on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. They watch music and YouTube videos. Plus, this is an evening event for 21 plus. You need to calm down and be more like your kids, accepting of others. That's all the thread on that. No one says, a beer tent is a sexualizing event. I have an issue with them sexualizing the Melon Fest, as I would any other fair or festival here in Livingston County being sexualizing in this manner. I've displayed my concern clearly above, and it's okay that you don't agree with me here. I agree with you. I follow many conservative drag queens, and they make it very clear that it's for entertainment purposes. The event is listing for 21 and up, and from the hours of 9:30 to 11:30. I don't see anything wrong with it. If you don't like it, don't go. No one says, yes, these organizations are not about innocent fun. They're about, was a time 20 years ago when this was nothing but taboo fun. Now it's messaging promoted by these groups and pushed upon your community. I've looked into the connections of the group, Howell Rec, Howell Library, etc. Enough. Would you be okay with a strip club tent in the Melon Fest then? I'm not suggesting it, but all have said, said what you could apply. I have zero issues with other adults do within the legal limits. Obviously, it's 9:30 p.m. It's not like they're making balloon animals and inviting the kids in. Some of y'all have to lead some pretty boring lives. It should be in a community. It shouldn't be in a community event, and I don't care if it is. Don't like it, don't go. As adults, we make our own decisions. See how easy that is? No one says, I think you're missing the point. Nobody cares that it's drag queens, and comparing a beer tent to a drag queen bingo is not one and the same at all. People care that they're sexualizing Melon Fest. Can't even spell it. Yet people still could be out at 9:30 at night, and kids still out one last big event before school starts. Remove the drag queen title and put in female lingerie bingo tent for breast cancer. Still a good cause, but would you be okay with that? With 12 and up kids still walking around the festival. Stop training to make it political because it has nothing to do with that, not in the least bit. My 11-year-old child will be snug in a bug at 10 p.m. No child should be at or near an adult event. Oh, because there's no LGBTQ people in our community? I'm generally curious what you think a community is. I was just coming to ask the same question. What is your definition of community? Wasn't aware that was a requirement. If nobody goes to the bingo event, there won't be a good reason to come back. Keep the kiddos away from there. Jeff, it's a 9:30 p.m. and a ticketed 21 plus event. The kiddos aren't invited. You should go, let loose, and have some fun. Hey, it's sold out in a few hours. So here's to another night. Hey, you got a spare ticket? I'd love to go, but they sold out so quickly and all free publicity. Hopefully they add another night. Time for all parents of Howell School students to take a hard look at what's being taught to our kids. Come on. They're not teaching our kids to be gay, to dress and drag, or anything even close. Being gay is not contagious, but apparently ignorance and intolerance is by the comment section. Oh, I have 2 kids in Howell School, and I think every day that the religious crazies don't get the boss HPS into not teaching my kids accurately about science, sexual health, and U.S. history. Guess it comes down to what your version of accurate means. I hear the earth is actually flat. Plus, why would you have your kids past 9:30 at night anyway? Men have been dressing for women in movies for years. So I'm failing to see. I mean, whatever happened about Tootsie? Come on, people, Tootsie. Great movie in the 80s. I'm failing to see what the problem is. I mean, I watched Quantum Leap when I was growing up. Didn't make me a drag queen. Didn't make me any weird. You know, Scott Bakula was dressed up like a woman all the time. I'm failing to see the problem is with drag queen bingo if there's already a beer tent. One could argue that the beer tent also does not promote family values and encourages alcoholism. Drag queen bingo is a blast. Get a real job, Megan. Everyone says your version sounds way more fun. Preach. It's just an event. You can go or not go. Perfectly fine with me. Everyone says, you really think no one, including kids, will see them? They have to get to the enclosure somehow. This is the type of entertainment for a family function. It should go where it belongs. We continue our slouch towards Gomorrah. Biggest thing the community can do is not support it. Here's a nice picture. Home of the LGBT, and we are here to stay. Land of the free. I actually like that design. I have a whole group coming and can't wait. Can't wait to see how this turns out. I can't wait until people realize the Gays for Trump recruiter of Michigan is going to be there, as well as members of this group. I have fun to play. To have fun and play bingo. We don't all have to agree, but we will stand up for all Americans. Inclusion and diversity is our country. That was written by Marilyn. Says your job says you joined one of those sell junk to your friend's pyramid scheme every low intelligence housewife seems to lose their husband's money on. Was just curious. I mean, he's talking about the Meghan lady. Ricky, I'm not really sure what your point is other than trying to insult someone who really doesn't care what you think about them. Once again, I will say, troll detected. Their husband's money. Because women can't make their own. Go back to whatever hole you climbed up. I should have failed to mention that stay-at-home parent is not a monetary lucrative field in general. Great mention, Slicky Ricky. What do you do, friend? Yeah. So this goes back and forth, and I encourage you to look at this thread. I posted it on the board where you can go check it out. You can check out the whole thread. And to top it off, she even went in to the Livingston GOP page. As chairman, she's supposed to represent everybody in her GOP, not just her personal opinion. She has wrote, what your thoughts on the drag queen bingo benefiting the Pride Alliance of Livingston County being an official event of the Howell Melon Fest? Email. So she's just brought it up on the Livingston County Republican Party. This is after the fact that she had a lot of Livingston County Republicans messaging her that she's wrong. And now she's being attacked on this one, rightfully so. So, folks, here's the issue. Here's the over issue. As a gay Republican, I am faced with the fact that there are people within my own party who would rather me to stay silent. They would rather me to keep quiet. They would rather me to not exist. They don't understand that their generalization of the whole gay community comes from the propaganda that the whole gay community is somehow leftist extremists that want to turn your kids into transgender children, who want to bring your kids into sexual situations at an early age, that there are people who are socialists and don't care about America. This is all wrong. Gays for Trump, Gay Conservatives for America, Triad Patriots, and other organizations are working hard against pedophilia. We are working hard against the sexualization of our children. We are working hard against the breakdown of families. We support traditional families. We support heterosexual relationships and families. We support the straights. Because without straights, I would not be born. Both my parents have been together for over 50 years. And they had me. And they prayed for me. And they're very much encouraging of who I am and what I'm doing. And that is being a gay rights supporter and activist, while also being a right-wing, gay, Trump-supporting, right-wing Republican. There's not many of us that are outwards that will say it. There's many people who watch what we do and what we say, and our movement is growing. We're not going away, folks. And the gay community, or whites, or blacks, or women, We're men, we're transgender, we are every nationality out there, we're every creed, we're in every country. We're not going anywhere. But we will stand up against anyone who will not afford us the opportunity to be who we are and to have the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that our framers said we can have. If you're a Republican, that means you might also be a conservative. There's a lot of things out there that's been said. But a conservative is someone who is trying to conserve our country, our liberties, our Constitution, our rights, and to conserve what works in our great country. That also means that they're willing to look for change and hope for change, for things to make things look better. If that being so, a Republican also believes in liberty, and they also believe in don't tread on me. These are the ideals of a conservative and a Republican. And so you should support anyone who is willing to join your party to fight for America. I am a proud gay Republican. It's not my identity. It's a part of who I am. I don't want to be generalized with a community of individuals and bad seeds in my own community that make us look all bad. I'm sick of tired of the generalization and the misconceptions and the negative comments from local politicians, national politicians, and other people that I don't even know, like this Meghan folk. I will point out when I feel like I'm being discriminated against. I think that Black people have done it, Latinos have done it, women and men have done it, and everyone out there who feels that they're being misrepresented have spoken up. And just because I'm gay doesn't mean that I can't speak up. Now, if that costs me my election because I concentrate on gay issues from time to time, so be it. I would rather enter as the congressperson, as actually the first openly gay federal congressperson who was a Republican in history of the United States, as far as I know, to enter. And I support all Americans, no matter if you're gay, you're straight, you're transgender, you're Black, you're white, or any other nationality, you're Republican, you're Democrat, you're Libertarian. I am going to be your representative if elected. You can go to my website. It's boykinforcongress.com. You can donate. You can help me account. I am a grassroots candidate, and I will boldly state what needs to be said. I am not the swamp. I will not be intimidated. I will not be controlled. And I'm a working class individual just like you that has to work for what I get in life. And we're going to work together to make America great again and greater. And we're going to put America first. God bless everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And there's probably going to be a lot more to this story as it develops. And I'll leave you with little messages here.